Alright, g'day everyone. If you're looking for ways to make the grind for Undertaker just a little bit easier, or make it much less painful to grind for the red Praxic Blade crystal, then I've definitely got something for you in this video. I basically started and finished my grind for it all in one night, and I'm gonna be honest, I was hesitant to make this video at first. One, because showing what's really strong is going to make it harder for myself, and two, because this setup feels like cheating. The best part about this invasion setup is it's really hard to deal with unless you're running the exact same thing. So you really should get in and do all your invasions sooner rather than later. Don't push it to the end of the season when everyone's getting good at invasions. Because as more people play with this setup, the harder this process is going to get. Right now, a lot of players haven't figured out what's the best things to run, and I mean a lot of players haven't figured it out. So grab some popcorn and your death marks and let's get into it. Your biggest advantage is going to be in which Renegade abilities you pick. And currently, there's two really unbalanced abilities, and these are Behemoth and Revitalise. Behemoth is single-handedly the best way to do most of the invasion triumphs for Undertaker. And it is the biggest carry when invading, because it is so hard to play around. They take next to no damage from most weapons and deal an insane amount of damage to players. Even abilities don't do a whole lot of damage to them. If you're in a Behemoth, it feels like cheating, and if you're against a Behemoth, it feels absolutely hopeless. The only things that work against a Behemoth are rocket-assisted weapons and supers. Now, if you have absolutely no idea how to get this, then it's probably because you haven't visited the Totality Division yet. You need to be rank 3 in order to purchase this ability, and you'll need to be rank 4 and 5 to unlock the remaining upgrades. I don't have rank 5, but it was so easy to do with the Behemoth, I didn't even need it. The other Renegade ability I mentioned is Revitalise. It was originally introduced to you as a healing option, but the last two upgrades for Revitalise allow this Renegade ability to regen all your abilities, including your super. And when fully upgraded, it will regen really quickly. Now remember how I mentioned that to counter Behemoth you needed a super? Well, here's how you get it. Not only can you use your super to just deal with other players, you can keep it in your back pocket in case someone else pulls out a Behemoth against you. With these two abilities, you're basically untouchable. Now there are some tricks you can use to give you even more of an edge when invading, or to just make this whole process of grinding a little faster and more fun. Because I fully understand that PvP isn't for everyone. Hell, I haven't even touched PvP properly in almost a year, but this hasn't actually been that bad. I might even go as far to say that I had fun. When I did my invasion grind, it felt good, it felt fun. Being overpowered in Destiny is the true power fantasy. So tip number 1, if you're in a Behemoth and you're confident the other player has no counter to you, don't pick up their crests. I know this is hella toxic, but this means you can get 1 or 2 more kills per round using the Behemoth, getting more progress towards heaps of these triumphs. Tip number 2. Never leave your Behemoth for more than a couple of seconds. The enemy will have a really easy time destroying it when you're not inside, and I'm pretty sure they can steal it as well. Tip number 3. Take a look at the triumphs for Undertaker and try to think about which triumphs you can reasonably work towards. You only need 8 out of the 10 available, and on screen are the ones that I managed to do. Getting kills inside a Behemoth can reasonably do 5 of these triumphs very, very easily with very little skill. Tip number 4, don't just stare at players and wait for them to make a move. Not only does the Behemoth have its own timer before it disappears, there's also a timer on the entire encounter. Don't let someone stalemate you. Tip number 5, you can't heal your Behemoth with Revitalise, but you can heal it with the orbs from pots on the ground. This is more of a meme than something that's actually useful, since the time it'd take to get enough orbs would cause the Behemoth to run out of time anyway. Tip number 6, your loadout should be Uncivil Discourse in the energy slot. This new hand cannon is absolutely cracked right now, and you start with maximum special, so it's perfect for long and close range fights. Mint Retrograde or New Malpays will give you an option to deal with Behemoths, so run that in the kinetic slot, especially if you get yourself into a situation where you have to use your weapons to deal with the Behemoth. Tip number 7, break the pots on the ground as you run between different locations. They can have heavy ammo, which can be helpful if you're running an Eager Edge sword, or have some other useful heavy weapon. Tip number 8 is to never wager more death marks. Keep it at 1 every time. The only time you should do this is for the all-in triumph, where you have to wager 3 death marks. Other than doing this triumph, wagering more death marks means you'll get to do less invasions. Sure, you get more loot, but for most of these triumphs, you need kills, which comes from doing more matches. If the wagers doubled or tripled your triumph progress, then it would make sense, but that's just not the case. And after every match, it felt like I had a 50-50 chance of getting my death mark back. So I actually got to do way more invasions than expected. The matches go by so quickly, you'll be farming credits and dark matter ingots insanely fast, and you should be using these resources to purchase upgrades for Behemoth and Revitalise if they're not maxed out already. Now I asked myself, how would I counter this? If I was in a double cross or being invaded, how would I deal with it? And honestly, I would just use the exact same build. When you load in, you need to get your super recharged as soon as possible, and then call in your Behemoth while you do this. If you charge the enemy and they're also in a Behemoth, don't try to have a mecha 1v1. Just jump out and super them. You'll save way more HP on your Behemoth, because 9 times out of 10, players will look at you and not your Behemoth when you're outside of it. And it is really important that you shut down their Behemoth, because you only get one per invasion, and so do they, which is both good and bad. It means once you handle someone else's Behemoth, you're free to use your own with very little threat. But it also means if you lose yours, you'll have to put in a bit more legwork because you won't get another one. You might find a Renegade chest with additional credits, but the most likely scenario is you'll be one and done. Now as for which supers to run, I'll suggest one for every single class. Roaming supers are not very good. They are great for killing players, they are terrible against behemoths. They don't deal a ton of damage to them, and you'll probably be killed before dealing enough damage to make any kind of difference. Titans should just use Thunder Crash. It one-shots behemoth and the pilot, eliminating the threat instantly, and it's good for just finding and killing players anyway. Hunter Tether sucks at destroying the behemoths, so don't use that. Golden Gun is okay, and it's really good against players, so you may as well use this or Blade Barrage. Warlocks, Chaos Reach is your only option. Behemoths can tank a Nova Bomb, and the rest of our supers are even worse. Chaos Reach can be really good against multiple behemoths if the entire team decides they want to charge you in their robots. The rest of the loadout is whatever. Your abilities don't matter because you're going to use your super or the behemoth, and if you default to your guns, the fragments aren't going to matter anyway. Armor mods don't matter because you don't need to have super generating mods because you're just going to drop a Revitalise. Ammo isn't important because you spawn in with full special even if you're running double special, so that's why the rest of the build doesn't matter. Apart from everything that I've said, practice and getting used to invasions is going to be your biggest asset. Learning how the spawns on a map work will greatly benefit you in the long run, so just get in and start trying your hand at some of these invasions. I hope this gives you the advantage you need to get your seal done and to finish off the grind for the Praxic Blade Crystal. So as always, please have a wonderful rest of your day.